today's Bhav Ganga International Edition, 8th International Edition. You are welcome. Namaskar. Good morning. Good evening. Today our Bhav Ganga will be limited to approximately half an hour. For 1 or 2 weeks it may be for half an hour, but after that regularly it will be about an hour or so. There is one request: if you are liking Bhav Ganga International Edition, then please subscribe and share and like in YouTube the channel in which it is being telecasted is Girish Pandey, Pande, no Y. So when you will open or you are seeing that, you please subscribe. The subscribers number have gone approximately 900, but with your efforts, with your little efforts, it will soon go to 1000, and then it will propagate very fast. It will be monetized also, and so many other benefits will start. So with this respect, let us first remember a great Indian scientist, Jagdish Chandr Bose. Yesterday, 30th November, was his birthday. He is known for breaking the barrier between physics and physiology, and between the animate and inanimate, the living beings. We are all living beings, but animate, animal kingdom, and human beings, and non-inanimate, these all plants kingdom. And our program is Bhav Ganga, we the beings on earth, which includes all animate and inanimate beings like plants and trees. So our Bhav Ganga, the base of our Bhav Ganga is Jagdish Chandr Bose, that discovery that all beings have sensibility. They have Atma, you can say. They can have feelings. They have feelings. He showed that science could be pursued, and initially he was very he suffered because of colonialism. People have not provided, the authorities have not provided him funds for researches and all that. He suffered, but ultimately he proved. He showed that science could be pursued by an Indian mind in a refreshing approach, and thus broke the barriers of the prejudices of colonialism as well. And Bose graduated. He was born in erstwhile unified India, but at present in Bangladesh, but graduated from St. Xavier College, Calcutta. He lived also in Calcutta, worked also in Calcutta, now Kolkata, West Bengal. He attended the University of London to study the medicine, but he gave it up. He left it due to health problems. Instead, he conducted research with Nobel laureate Rayleigh at the University of Cambridge. Bose returned to India to join the Presidency College of the University of Calcutta as a professor of physics. There, despite racial discrimination, which I mentioned earlier, and a lack of funding and equipment, Bose carried on his scientific research. He made progress in his research and radio waves in the microwave spectrum, and was the first to use semiconductor junctions to detect radio waves. Bose made pioneering discoveries in plant physiology. He used his own invention, the crescograph, to measure plant response to various stimuli and proved parallelism between animal and plant tissues. The similarities and parallelism between plant and animal tissues. Both filed for a patent for one of his inventions because of peer pressure, but he was generally critical of the patent system. To facilitate his research, he constructed atomic recorders, sorry, automatic recorders capable of registering extremely slight movements. These instruments produce some striking results, such as querying of injured plants. Plants, when they become injured, they have expressed their pain in different forms, which Bose interpreted as a power of feeling in plants. Plants have feelings and sensibilities for so many things, including music. Your, they can understand your feelings also. This, we have all this result. This experiment we have also conducted, which I am going to narrate in a brief. So, on this birth day, 30th November, we pray, we pay our respect to such a great scientist which we have produced, Jagdish Chandr Bose, who has really showed that our family of living beings includes plants also, plant kingdom also. So we pay our respect to such great scientists. And that experiment which I wanted to narrate, when I was posted in Chennai, there one of my friend, Mr. Paul Raj, who was initially went to Himalayas to do so many sadhanas, and when he came back again, Chennai, he is a great educationist. He married and he was living a normal life, family life. His village was 30-40 kilometers from Chennai. There we used to go regularly. And there was farm, and the plant Touch Me Not was there. You know the plant Touch Me Not? When you touch, its leaves shrink as if it is feeling shy, and it shrinks. So we have presumed, we wanted to do this experiment. We made this experimental design because we have seen when leaves of other plants are touching Touch Me Not plant because of wind or because of some other reasons, then Touch Me Not, its leaves were not shrinking. It is shrinking only when other animals and human beings touch them. So they are distinguishing between other plant kingdom and animal kingdom. They are identifying. So we said ki if, and they are feeling safe with plants and they are not feeling safe with other animals, maybe because of past experiences or because of whatever. So we said ki we will touch them as if with full prayers, full love, full sensibility, full sensitivity, and without anything against them, full of love, we will touch them. So let us observe whether it or he, because it is if not a good pronoun for it. He is better. He or she. He will recognize my feelings or not. If he will recognize, he will not shrink. If he will not recognize and he will go in its routine way, then it will shrink. So with that pious feelings, feeling connectedness with the entire universe and including him, and willing all good, wishing all goodness for it. In that way, when we, with that extreme feeling, when we started doing it again and again for 2-3 years, we have conducted. Whenever we go to his farm, we were doing this experiment, and so many touch me not plants were there. So we were not doing with one. We were doing with all, whatever, whichever is available immediately. So initially, if we are touching it 20 times, so all 20 times it will shrink. Slowly and slowly, the number of times it's shrinking started declining. And after lot of time, after a year or so, it has started happening that suppose we are touching 20 times, so 10 times it will shrink, 10 times it will not shrink. Slowly, slowly, a time comes, has started coming when out of 20 times, all 20 it will not shrink, and sometimes 19 or 20 it will not shrink. So that has happened. That experiment you can do it. Yourself you can do it. Plants have all the sensibility. They know you, they understand you, they understand your feelings. So Jagdish Chandr Bose, in that context, this experiment is also, I thought I should put before you. And now, from the book Win 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 the Orphan Way, my English novel, I will recite some poems and I will discuss a theory of psychology which I like most and which is wonderful. This is known as Gestalt theory. It is a theory of holistic vision which I am always talking about. And if you want to understand the existence, the world, the Brahmand, then your vision should be holistic. You should feel yourself connected with the entire existence, entire universe, and that entire universe, that totality, that is God. The Gestalt theory of psychology also thinks in that direction. There is an ideological school in psychology called Gestalt School of Psychology, which believes that whole is more than the sum of its parts. Whole is more than the sum of its parts. This body, for example, it has so many parts, but this body is not only the sum of all its elements, sum of its parts, it is something more. That more is very important, and more gives life to everything. So there is an ideological school in psychology called Gestalt School, which believes that whole is more than the sum of its parts. Or we can write a formula: whole is equal to sum of parts plus something more. So this very much matches to my philosophy. I always believe that the resultant of many elements is more than the sum of equal of such elements. This is true in all aspects of life. Human being, for instance, is not merely the sum of all the elements of human body, that is hands, leg, ear, nose, heart, brain and so on, but something more. It consists of feelings, emotions, thinking and of course soul also. And what is soul? I narrated in earlier Bhav English edition that our that sensibility which feels ourselves connected with the entire universe, that sensibility is soul. That sensibility which is connecting ourselves with the entire universe, that is soul. Similarly, if you think about India, then it is not sum of all the states, but it is something more. If we consider the world, then it is not only the sum of the countries, but something more. If we consider our Mother Earth, then it is not only the sum of the continents, oceans, the nature, flora, living on non-living beings, but also something more. Because of these phenomena, synergic interaction take place. Because of these phenomena, synergic interactions take place. And sometimes it is reflected in common saying such as 1 and 1 makes 11. 1 and 1 makes 11. So the in physics, the theory of resonance also shows that the sum of two elements is not only the mere addition, but it can be something more. In physics, in resonance, if two entities oscillate with the same amplitude and same uh, frequency, then the resultant amplitude which they produce can be infinite if resistances are not there. So, whole can be sum of the parts plus infinite. It depends how you are performing, how you are working, how you are feeling, how you are thinking, how you are doing, how you are resonating. It depends upon all that. That is why it is often called 1 plus 1 makes 11 or 1 plus 1 makes 1 lakh. But theoretically, if there are no resistances, 1 plus 1 can be infinite. In medicine, for treatment of human body, different practices have developed on the basis of different belief systems. Allopathy mostly focus on the elements of the body, whereas Ayurveda, naturopathy, and cosmic healing tend to cure human being as a whole. All the systems have their own merits and demerits and limitations, not demerits, limitations. All the systems have their own merits and limitations. This is all about visible world. But from this thinking flows one great concept also. Whatever elements and energies are there in time and space, sum total of all these elements and energies as a whole is the existence plus God. Whatsoever you use it, God or the resultant of the existence to some total universe. But it is sometimes more than sum of elements and energies. To understand, that is why I always define God as the total existence, whatever exists, time and space, everything, sum total or totality, a set of totality, the entire existence. That is a living, vibrant system. And it becomes God when you include in it all the energies, all the thinkings, all the connectivity. when there is connectivity between all the elements. That connectivity gives it the shape of the living, vibrant, universal body that is God. It becomes God because of something more. The totality, sum total of elements plus something more, then it becomes, including that something more, it becomes God. And we all are its living, vibrant body parts. So, but it is something more than the sum of elements and energies. To understand and to appreciate this something more is very important, and this is the core of all creativity, positivity, hope, belief systems, dreams, and vision. So, I have expressed this in a poem. That poem I will narrate, and then we will uh, read some more poems in 10-15 minutes. For 10-15 minutes. What is God? God, formless as well as with form. What is God? Whatever is whatever is visible is the manifestation or the form of God, the visible God. And whatever is not visible, like all the time, past, future, and hopes, imaginations, energies, and waves, all represent formless God. Therefore, whenever avatars, incarnations of God, had to show his real form, then he had shown his Virat, great and real form, in which everything was flowing, as was in which everything was flowing, was engulfed. And of course, God is the sum total of all the visible and invisible form and forces, and also something more. Whatever is visible is Sakar Brahma, and whatever is not visible is Nirakar Brahma. Sakar, which have shape, and Nirakar, which it doesn't have shape. And also, one should expect justice from the whole, that is God, and not the ansh, that is part. So we can expect justice from the totality, not from the parts only. So this was the Gestalt theory. Something more would have been discussed, but in another 5-10 minutes, I will recite some poem. Awaiting light. Has darkness, you just think, has darkness ever extinguished light? Is really the darkness the enemy of light? It's a light that has always been putting out darkness. It is light that has always been putting out darkness. Factors responsible for extinguishing light are entirely different. Darkness surely does stand and wait. Darkness surely does stand and wait for a light to come and permeate within. For a light to come and permeate within, live within, go within. Physics and physical world. Physics and physical world. Another poem. The biggest similarity between physics and physical world is that the biggest similarity between physics and physical world is that in physics, whenever a quantity gets a little too big, it is assumed to be infinite. In physics, when you make formulae in optics and in other fields, and in economics, commerce also, when you use formulae, when a thing starts getting too big, we consider it infinite. In physics, whenever a quantity gets a little too big, it is assumed to be infinite. And in the physical world, whenever a person starts to do anything big or starts to grow big, there is a tendency to regard him as a incarnation, as being infinite. Likewise, in physics, when a quantity gets big, gets a bit too small, it is assumed to be zero or inessential. And in physical world also, there has constantly been a tendency to regard all things small as inessential or almost zero. In physics, this helps in developing formulae, and in physical world, this helps in making rules and regulations and in building history. And another poem, lies and limits. Lies, untruth, and limits. No one is lying. Everyone is merely stating their limits. Everyone is stating their limits. Either the limits of their knowledge, either the limits of their knowledge, or of their understanding, or of their hearing or speech, or of their vision, of or of happiness or sorrow, or of their thinking, or of their greed, or of their age, or of their mind, limits of all these, or of their body. Nobody is telling lies or untruth. He is telling you the limit of his mind, of or of their body, or of their scrutiny, of their security, insecurity, or of their fear, or of their culture, or of their personality, or of their religion, limit of their religion, or of their God. And some are stating the limit of their limits, and some are stating the limit of their limits. No one lies, everyone is stating their limits. No one lies, everyone is stating their limits. Going slow, a writer, he has always a paradox, to live or to write. So in the process, he lives slowly because he is writing, and he writes slowly because he is living, experiencing, and then writing. So going slow. People ask me, why did you write slowly? People ask me, why did you write slowly? I said, I struggled in life and as I wrote. People asked me, why did you write slowly? I said, I struggled in life as I wrote it. When people asked, why do you struggle slowly? Why you have not moved fast in the life? So many huge Bangalore's bank balances, so many plots, so many this, that. When people asked, why did you struggle slowly? I said, I wrote also when I struggled, as I struggled. Next, whether God is a child, whether God is a child, whatever figures, drawings, and sketches the child had made, whatever figures, drawings, and sketches the child has made, all were different, all were unique, all were different, all were unique, no copy from anywhere. It appears God is a child. It appears God is a child. The effect of flow. I like this phenomena too much. The effect of flow. Muddy water while flowing continuously. You must have seen water flowing in pipes or nalas and getting them choked when muddy or dirty water flew among them. So muddy water, while flowing continuously, goes on stopping its own path and ways, goes on stopping its own path and ways, blocking all the holes and passages, blocking all the holes and passages. But clean water, clear water, make the ways, clear the ways. Clear water make clear the ways. Clean water clear the ways. So, if we want the system to be clear, we have to be clean, and we have to select and elect our leaders and managers clean. Last three small poems. Yajna. When forests were in abundance, cutting down trees and burning the wood must have been yajna. When forests were in abundance, cutting down trees and burning the wood must have been yajna. But now when forests are scarce, trees are scarce, planting trees and saving them must be the real yajna. And planting trees and saving them must be the real yajna. And next, bonsai of God. We have made bonsai of God. Bonsai, a Japanese art where we grow bigger trees in smaller pots, even banyan tree, mango tree in smaller pots or gamle. We have made bonsai of God. In the entire history, if there is anything that has been made into a bonsai most often, in the entire history, if there is anything that has been made into a bonsai most often, it is God. Every religion, every path, priest and theology created a bonsai of God alone. They have made the bonsai of God alone. God, being the infinite, being the most gigantic, and having countless roots, all beings are its roots, everything is its root. God being the most gigantic, infinite, and having countless roots, it was easiest to make a bonsai of Him. Everyone made a bonsai of God according to their faith and according to their place of worship. And last, confluence. So, bonsai of God. We have made bonsai of God. In the entire history, if there is anything that has been made into a bonsai most often, it is God. Every religion, every path, priest and theology created a bonsai of God alone. God being the most gigantic and infinite and having countless roots, it was easiest to make a bonsai of Him. Everyone made a bonsai of God according to his faith, according to their path, place of worship. And last, the confluence. The confluence of sky and earth is man. The confluence of sky the confluence of sky and earth is man. If there is more sky, it makes a bird. If there is a more of earth than a tree, the confluence of bird and tree is man. The confluence of sky and earth is man. If there is more of the sky, it makes a bird. And if there is more of earth than a tree, the confluence of bird and tree is a man. So, here I will conclude today's Bhav GANGA8.WE, the beings on earth, part 8. So, wish you all success and a very good day for you. We will meet on next Thursday. Till then, good morning, good evening, good night.